Hi, I'm Jeff Richter, giving you guys the tip of the month. This month we're going to talk about our lower body band strengthening series. This is something we use a lot here at St. Vincent Sports Performance, and we use it because it's very important for an athlete of any sport to have hip strength. Okay, the stronger you are in the hips, the more able you are to display speed effectively. All right, so strength is the foundation for speed. We need to get stronger to get faster. Also, in addition to the band drills being used to create better strength, which is in turn going to create better speed, a lot of this stuff is for injury prevention. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one step at a time through all these exercises, and we're going to show you guys different ways to work all the different muscles in the, that are surrounding the hip. The first drill that we're going to work on is what we call a band hip flexor drill. Okay, so during this drill, what we're trying to do is create our knee and our thigh drive to come to 90 degrees in order to elicit the psoas muscle and activate that muscle. So for this drill, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the loop band right around the arches of the feet. Okay, and then we're just going to take a seat down on our back. We want to first of all start with our toes completely up. We want to make sure we don't have much lumbar extension with our lower back extended. We want our lower back to be all the way against the floor. All right, I'm going to start with my hands right against the side, and all I'm going to do is create the left thigh drive first as high as I can while my right leg stays flat. From this position, I'm going to bring my left leg up as high as I can. My right leg stays completely straight, and I'm back down. So a common mistake people make is they're in this position and they do their thigh drive and this leg comes up. Of course, that's a little over exaggerated, but you guys see that we need to keep the right knee completely against the turf. For this next drill, we're going to work on a combo drill. This combo drill is going to help strengthen our hip flexor at the psoas, but in addition, we're going to create hip extension and knee extension. So for this drill, we're going to start in what we call an ab hold position. I'm going to keep the band at the same spot around the arches of my feet. I'm going to go ahead and take a seat. In this position, we're going to start in what we call an ab hold. The ab hold position is where the knees are directly above the hip, and there's a straight line from the heel all the way to the knees, okay? To activate the psoas muscle, we want to start this drill a little bit further past 90, all right? So the knees are going to be a little further past 90 over the hip, all right? And I'm going to bring one leg down at a time from this ab hold position. So I have my shoulder blades off the ground, my eyes are looking straight up in the air. I'm in this trunk flexion position, so we're also activating a little bit of the core muscles. From this point, I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to punch it down without my left leg moving. So I'm here, right leg's going to be punched towards the turf, the left knee stays activated all the way to the hip with the psoas muscle, the right leg's completely straight, and then I'm back up to the ready position. So I'm extending the hip, extend the knee on the right leg, left knee stays over the hip, and we're right back up to this ready position. Toes stay pointed straight up. For this next drill, what we're going to work on is our hip abductors. Our hip abductors at the gluteus minimus and gluteus medius are responsible for abducting the hip, but also for preventing excessive adduction. All right, so anytime our knee is planted and then collapses inward like this, that whole motion from the hip down to the knee, excessive adduction and valgus collapse is something we want to try to avoid. That's going to predispose us to an ACL tear. So for this drill, we're going to do a loop band shuffle. All right, for the shuffle drill, I'm going to start with my feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart, and I'm going to make sure my knees are staying out. The loop band is going to be right around the ankles, and I'm going to bring my hips back into a slightly flexed position so my chest is up, and I'm in this pretty athletic posture, ready to now do the shuffles. So with the shuffles, my toes stay straight ahead, my knees stay out, and my upper body is not going to tilt. So I keep my chest up and shuffle. So every time I take a step, I'm going to let my upper body come back and follow that opposite leg once I push out. So we're pushing out as far as we can, and we bring it back together. This month we talked about lower body strengthening drills that we can do with a loop band, and we specifically looked at how we can strengthen the psoas at the hip flexor, the glute max, the knee extensors, and also the hip abductors. So we've covered kind of a dynamic kind of variety of different ways to work the hips, and hopefully if we implement these hip strengthening exercises into our programs, we'll get stronger, which is going to help us get faster, but we're also going to reduce our risk for certain injuries that are dependent on strength around the hips. So thanks for tuning in this month. We'll see you next time.